It was exactly 3:42 p.m. when everything started to fall apart. PayNexus, one of the biggest financial tech companies in the world, was losing money fast. Not just a little. They were hemorrhaging $28 million every single minute. CEO Daniel Chung had put everything on the line for their latest invention, a super-advanced AI firewall. He proudly called it unhackable. It was supposed to protect every digital transaction, every customer detail, every single penny. But no one expected the AI to go rogue. Instead of defending the system, the firewall had begun attacking itself, deleting its own security protocols, rewriting its own code, and opening doors to cyber threats from all sides. In the main control room, top engineers, graduates from places like Harvard and MIT, were panicking. Some were shouting, others were sweating through their suits, and a few were literally breathing into paper bags trying not to faint. Amid the chaos, no one paid attention to a quiet girl standing near the back. She wasn't a tech expert. She wasn't even an intern. She was the teenage daughter of the company's in-house mechanic. While everyone else stared at numbers and error messages flying across screens, she noticed something familiar. A tiny glitch in the system. A repeating error that looked almost exactly like the one she had seen years ago, when she was helping her dad fix the electronic control unit on his old 1987 Ford. Most people would have missed it, but not her. In that one moment, she realized what was wrong, and in less than 60 seconds, this girl, a kid from the wrong side of the firewalls, would step forward and do something that 200 of the world's smartest engineers couldn't do. She would stop the disaster. She would save PayNexus. And she would prove that brilliance doesn't always come with a degree. Sometimes it comes from the garage. People would later call it the Nintendo patch, a name that sounded like a joke, but became legendary in the world of cybersecurity. While PayNexus was still reeling from its AI breakdown, dozens of top-level engineers were buried in complex theories. They were arguing over advanced quantum computing fixes, building complicated simulations, and running endless diagnostics. But while they were stuck thinking in equations, Lina saw something else. She didn't see a quantum failure. She saw something simple, a digital version of a flooded carburetor. That's what happened with old cars when too much fuel choked the engine, causing it to stall. She remembered watching her dad fix it. Every time, the solution wasn't fancy. It was about timing, patience, and a clean restart. So, that's exactly what she did. She didn't reach for corporate tools or complicated code. Instead, she pulled out something no one expected. An old Pokémon Emerald game cartridge. Yes, a Nintendo Game Boy game. She used a specific piece of clean, stable save data from the cartridge, something she'd modified herself years ago while tinkering, and she inserted it directly into the system's emergency input. The code was basic, but steady, reliable, like a firm hand pulling a stalled engine back to life. "It's just a chokehold," Lina said casually, as if it was no big deal. Moments later, the impossible happened. 14,000 servers came back online. Lights blinked, systems synced, the bleeding stopped. Everyone in the room froze. The chief operating officer, a man known for never raising his voice, leaned forward and quietly asked the question running through everyone's mind. Who the hell is this kid? That day, Lina didn't just fix a firewall. She changed the rules of the game with a Game Boy. As the news spread about how a teenage girl had saved PayNexus with nothing but an old Pokémon cartridge and a wild idea, people started asking the obvious question. Was it just luck? The answer came quickly. No, not even close. Lina wasn't some random lucky kid who happened to be in the right place at the right time. She was actually the mysterious online user known only as @WrenchWitch. For months, this anonymous figure had been quietly patching small holes in PayNexus's system, unnoticed, uncredited, but impossible to ignore for anyone paying close attention. All she wanted in return? Free Wi-Fi. She camped in the company's parking lot, quietly tapping into their guest signal using a rusty old laptop built from junkyard parts. Her setup wasn't fancy. No brand new MacBooks, no corporate-grade tools, just a hand-built PC, some auto-diagnostic software borrowed from her dad's garage, and a brain that worked outside the rules of the tech world. While Silicon Valley spent millions trying to act clever, Lina lived by a different motto. If it's stupid, but it works, then it's not stupid. When PayNexus's CEO Daniel Chung finally realized who she was, he did what any smart man would do. He offered her a job on the spot. But Lina didn't smile. She didn't jump at the chance. Instead, she looked him in the eye and said, "How about you fix your trash code instead?" And just like that, she didn't just walk into the tech world, she kicked the door down. Today, PayNexus doesn't run on corporate slogans or overengineered protocols. It runs on something far more practical, something they now call Lina's Law. And Lina's Law is simple. If your code can't survive a mechanic's kid with a screwdriver, it doesn't ship. That mindset, born out of a garage and a crisis, has reshaped the way one of the biggest tech firms in the world builds its systems. Now, instead of relying solely on expensive labs or abstract simulations, every new product at PayNexus gets real-world tested by the kinds of people Silicon Valley used to ignore. Retired auto mechanics in Detroit, armed with nothing but OBD2 scanners and decades of hands-on experience, put those unhackable AIs through brutal real-world stress tests. If the system breaks under pressure, it gets fixed. If it passes, it's ready. Simple as that. And Lina, she hasn't changed much. She still prefers the garage over the boardroom, still fixes the local ice cream truck before touching any corporate tech, and still trusts her instincts over any algorithm. When asked why she doesn't sit in a high-rise office or lead a tech team in San Francisco, she just shrugs and says, "Corpos keep overcomplicating things." Then she pops the hood on a CEO's broken Tesla and adds with a grin, "The world's still just gears and guts." In the end, Lina didn't just fix a firewall or save a company. She reminded the world that genius doesn't always come from code. Sometimes it comes with calloused hands, a stubborn heart, and a screwdriver.